like more evidence is definitely coming out of the pipeline in regards to Sophie Cunningham and Bria Hartley. Now, we know there was a situation that took place in the second quarter of the game, possibly at the 8-minute, 9-second mark. That is a Bria Hartley, diving into the knees of Sophie Cunningham. Now, we know that play has since went viral, and I'm here to tell you more news is coming out in regards to Bria Hartley, and it looked like she was kind of pleased with what she done.
Stephanie White confirms Sophie Cunningham's knee injury is dangerous. The WNBA is once again under a cloud of controversy after a shocking play during the Indiana Fever's matchup against the Connecticut Sun left Sophie Cunningham injured and fans outraged. At around the 8-minute mark of the second quarter, Bria Hartley collided with Cunningham's knee in what many are calling a reckless and dangerous move. The impact immediately sent Cunningham to the floor in visible pain, while Hartley's reaction, smiling and showing little concern, sparked outrage across social media. What was first seen as a hard basketball play quickly turned into a viral storm, with fans accusing Hartley of intentionally targeting Cunningham in a way that could threaten her career.
And this is the face of Bria Hartley, man, laughing. She's laughing after colliding with none other than Sophie Cunningham. Evil, vicious, malicious. Just my goodness, bro.
I don't know if the referees could have prevented the Sophie Cunningham injury. I'm going to be honest with that. I don't know if the referees could have done it. I don't know if it was intentional from Bria Hartley. I think if it was anyone other than Bria Hartley or Marina Mabrey on the Sun team, everyone would have just said, no, it's not intentional, it was completely accidental.
The reaction was swift, with supporters and even Cunningham's family voicing anger at both Hartley and the WNBA's handling of the situation. Her sister publicly called Hartley a disgrace, while her mother echoed those feelings, saying Hartley's out-of-control style is a danger to the league. Stephanie White, who later confirmed the injury was more serious than initially thought, described it as potentially dangerous and emphasized the risks that come when plays like this are not addressed. What made matters worse was the way the incident was handled during the broadcast. Instead of analyzing the collision, discussing intent, or highlighting the severity of the injury, the cameras quickly cut away, leaving viewers stunned.
On the officiating, we hear the concerns, we take that input, every play is reviewed, spend hours and hours and hours. Obviously, we use that then to follow up with officials, training. Consistency is important, I think. I think some people observe our game versus other basketball formats are that there aren't a ton of fouls called, but I've realized consistency is the name of the game. So I think it's something we definitely look at and evaluate, and there's an independent evaluation of our officials. There are ramifications. It's something we need to continue to work on.
For many, it seemed like an intentional decision to avoid spotlighting a troubling moment that spoke volumes about the league's officiating and accountability. Critics argue that this silence only deepens the perception that the WNBA is failing to protect its stars. And Sophie Cunningham is no ordinary player. Her fiery spirit, relentless hustle, and ability to anchor the Fever have made her a fan favorite, particularly in a season where she's been instrumental in holding the team together amid other injuries. The frustration didn't stop with fans.
Paula, at WNBA, maybe you should focus less on fining players for commenting on your poor officiating and more about hiring officials that are able to call a consistent game, protect your athletes. Pathetic. Praying for you, Sophie Cunningham. Yeah, officially, my two favorite players in this league that I really particularly love to pull for, they're both out now. And it did not look good.
Social media uncovered a troubling history of Hartley's physical play, with past incidents of dangerous fouls resurfacing, reinforcing the belief that this was not an isolated mistake but part of a reckless pattern. For Cunningham, the emotional weight is just as heavy as the physical injury. Instead of lashing out, she quietly supported her family's public defense, retweeting her sister's message, which in itself was a powerful statement.
There are players that cannot be replaced and there are an abundance of players that no one gives a shit about. If you're the WNBA, common sense would dictate that you do everything in your power to protect your star players. You do everything you can to protect your assets. But for some reason, this dump of a league seems to protect anonymous faces over the pretty faces. They protect the players who are injuring the players that people are paying to see.
That silence carried impact. It reminded fans and players alike that the issue isn't only about one foul, but about a league culture where player safety often feels secondary. This controversy raises an urgent question for the WNBA: how will it respond? With growing attention and fan demand for accountability, the league is at a crossroads. Ignoring moments like this risks alienating supporters and diminishing the credibility it has worked hard to build.